All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of WKRP. I say that every time that we start this, and I feel like I need to get like a new opening.
I didn't hear the intro.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of WKRP.
No, not that. The music.
Well, it will be there, and now you've just ruined the illusion.
Well, the illusion that you're competent.
Well,
is that the illusion?
I don't think that's an illusion at all. I don't think anybody has that expectation of me.
All right.
I think that you keep trying to force that expectation.
It's like the Rocky music.
Mm-hmm.
To me.
No, it's more like, oh, no, I didn't have it. No,
It's like when that music comes on.
Yeah.
You know, that's the cue to
do what?
To get in the zone. And now I don't hear it.
Well, we don't have any. Oh, got it.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's a reason for that. Should we talk about our sponsors? No?
Is this January?
It's not January yet.
When is this one going out?
Well, it might be January.
It's January.
Is it January?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. So
Yeah.
I have this. Oh, look. Hold on.
Look.
Wait, if I turn this around.
Look at that high quality
what is that?
glassware.
Look at that.
Casey, it's on you. We are happy to have really nice glassware, but until then, we're going to suffice with what Dennis has in his hand.
Yeah. Yeah. But what else do I have in my hand?
I mean, I can't.
Why do you look stunned?
I can't see. What do you have in your hand?
What else is this in my hand? What's in here?
Right. What's in there? Yes. This is delicious beer from Pomona.
Oh my God.
Can I see? Hey,
give him Christmas.
Can you put it on the screen?
No, I'm not putting it on the screen.
Oh my God. This is tiresome. Anyway, this is Pomona's delicious amber ale.
That's
with
very good.
nice glassware.
Yeah.
That I didn't have to make with a pen and a piece of paper and some tape.
Yeah. From Pomona Brewery. I don't feel like that's a good way for you to start with our new sponsors, Clear Networks.
Oh yeah.
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 You're probably watching this broadcast right now on a Clear Networks connection.
And if you're not, you should be. Yeah, exactly. It's really that's probably because you don't have a Clear Networks connection. Probably got one of the other guys. We don't know who they are.
Yeah,
But,
I don't.
We only deal with Clear Networks.
Yeah, just the best of the best.
So you will have heard in the opening intro music that we are in fact in the now named Clear Networks Studio.
Yeah,
which we're very happy about.
Excited about that.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you, Clear Networks.
Yeah.
You know who else is really good at what they do? Not you. I know you were going to say.
I mean,
you.
I could name Kevin.
Yeah. There was a chuckle over there. There was a chuckle. That got a chuckle from the audience.
He thinks we're talking about him.
Oh well, let's talk about him real quick.
Who is him?
Him may be Mr. Drew Loewen. Drew.
How's it going, guys?
Thanks for joining the show, brother.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm stoked about this.
Thanks for being there and putting up with this kind of nonsense for 5 or 10 minutes.
Nonsense? What do you mean? What is your problem today?
Very clearly unscripted banter.
You went directly from Bah Humbug from our Christmas episode.
That was weeks ago.
Okay. And
this is January now, Dennis.
Yeah.
It's January,
the illusion.
clearly.
I've changed. I've changed since then.
He's a reformed man.
I'm keeping up with all of my New Year's resolutions.
No, you're not. There's nobody out there that bought that bought what you just said.
Clearly not doing dry January.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, Drew, hey, welcome to the Really Nice Couch.
Yeah.
I see that.
Very tall. I'm a short guy, so
I'm impressed.
Off the couch.
I'm impressed that you got yourself comfortable in the really nice couch right away.
Yeah, you got to.
Some people are not good at that.
They are
adjusting the whole time.
Extremely uncomfortable.
They get really intimidated by the couch. You leaned right into it. I love it. So I asked you to come on the show, particularly because recently you did a post that really connected with me. You did too, actually. And then we'll get back to who you are and what all you do. But I really liked the idea because it resonated with why we do this podcast. So number one, you did a post and you said, hey, I love doing podcasting. I think more people should do podcasting. If you're interested in doing podcasting, comment and put it out there. So what kind of motivated you to put that out there?
Man, I love it. And I think it works too. That's probably a big part of it, right? It's not just that, hey, here's a thing I love that I think everyone should do. I think it's effective, right? Like what you guys are doing is demonstrating that, right? You just started this. Now you have sponsors. You're making an impact in the community. And it was just fun conversations, right? You're clearly just being how you guys would be in person, I'm guessing. Maybe a little toned down, right? For the camera,
It's toned down for the camera. It might be.
There's less cursing on the podcast.
But that builds value, and it like makes people trust you, and it gives people something to do. I think it's like the most powerful media force that's in existence right now. And there's a lot of things I think in the past couple of years that have shown that, you know, even over and against short form video, podcasts are where people are going for deep information. So I think it's really powerful and it's fun. It's a really good way to share your thoughts and your expertise, or even just entertain people. And I think a lot of people might think it's oversaturated, but it's kind of like anything. There's 7 billion people out there, right? So you could find 1,000 people to listen to you almost no matter who you are.
Well, and what I love too is that we're not saturated in Montrose, right?
Sure.
Specifically, Montrose it's not a blank canvas anymore, but it's not completed. There's lots of opportunities here still for this kind of thing. I mean, as far as I know, there's no other podcast currently that is about Montrose.
There are people that have been on this podcast that should do podcasts of their own.
Yeah.
I know that it's tough to it's so tough to get people to come out of their shells and to share their stories sometimes. Rob,
that's why we
just
have
was
this.
super easy.
That's why we have the truth serum.
So Drew, you have drewloewencreative.com, right?
DrewLoewenCreative.com. For now, we might change that. I don't know.
Okay.
I might get my name off it eventually, but for now it's working.
And so you're doing a ton of production here on the Western Slope. And so you've had some good clients that are out there that are telling great stories as well. What now, but you were at Grand Canyon University, you were a theology and English lit major. Okay.
Not business, not marketing. I was like, oh, I'm going to be a professor or something. And then I had a professor tell me, she was my English professor. She looked right at us. She's like, none of you should go into higher education. And she actually looked at me. She's like, actually, you could probably get a job. And then I was like, but you're telling me that it's a shit job that is going to be really hard to get. So why would I want to do that? Right. So like right at the tail end of college, I was like, great, I have 2 useless degrees. How am I going to use these? Right. And then I got a really crappy call center job and was like really depressed. But the thing that was constant in my life was storytelling, between theology and English. Like, what do they share? It's like a story that motivates people, gives their life meaning. That's really what I've always been, is like a student of story. And in my free time, watching movies, trying to make little movies, helping the film students out with their projects, right? I kind of realized, wait, that's what I like to do, is tell stories. And like, I could go try to be an author or something like that, but I can also just do that for people in a unique way with skills that I develop. And that's just kind of how it happened.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I think we did we originally meet at the coffee shop? Because I knew your parents too, because your parents are local to Montrose as well. But we met at the coffee shop, and this was pre getting married, having 2 kids.
Yeah.
So, but you weren't quite there yet with like wanting to kind of. So where was that moment of like switch of, hey, not only do I like this and I can do this, but this is a community that needs it?
It's actually the reason I moved here in a weird way. It's like my mom was in real estate at the time, and there was like almost nobody servicing that industry. And so at first I was like, oh, okay, I'll just like do real estate photos, which now we don't even do. But I moved out here specifically for that and got the coffee shop job as like something to pay the bills while I built the business. And I did that for probably like 6 or 7 months. And then as soon as, I had a conversation with my dad. I was like, okay, I'm getting some clients, and now it's like getting weird to schedule some photo shoots around, my shift schedule. And he's like, how much are you making from the creative stuff? Is it, close to what you're making from the coffee shop? And I was like, yeah, it's like $500 a month short, but it's getting close. He's like, quit now. And then as soon as I did, I had the time to, go find more clients and do more work like that. So, I kind of had the intention the whole time. I didn't know that it would ever be a full-time thing though. I was like, maybe I'll just do this on the side, have some other job, or it'll, be a resume builder. But we just had a huge need. Like, there's some stuff in Junction, there's some bigger production companies in Denver, but like when I moved here, there was like nobody doing it at that level.
Absolutely. Rob, you are also a storyteller. You had a great product, Wayfinder magazine. Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. You want more compliments. Okay.
No. I'm wondering where this is going. That's all. Yeah.
Well, I think that one of the things that I love about you is not only, and for this show where we argue, is it can't only be a story, but it's kind of got to be interesting, right?
Well, yeah. It's why, you have to be.
But interesting people often can't tell their own
that's true
freaking
as well.
Story.
Yep.
Like, why is that? Why is it such an issue?
Yeah. Some people, like you said, it's hard to get people to come and loosen up and tell their stories, even though some people out there are the most interesting people, which is why I think it's important. Like with Wayfinder, with WKRP, we have to give them a voice or be their voice, because some people are reluctant to pat themselves on the back. Not me.
You don't have any problem with that.
None at all.
Your arm reaches just fine
to
get back there. Mine's a little short. I can't quite get there.
But no, it's important that I think it's important. It's important for community too. What I really like about WKRP and anything local is, we have become quite divided as a society. If you know your neighbor, if you know the people who are serving you beer, who are working in the coffee shops, then it's harder to be divided, So I feel like when we're telling people stories now, if you watch an episode of this, the idea is hopefully you feel like you maybe know Drew a little bit now.
Yeah, so you're fanboying Drew and you see Drew in the street and you're like, hey, Drew.
But also
Drew's like, I have no idea who you are.
Yeah, but people are also always comment to us, right? About,
absolutely.
I didn't know this about that person. Or I thought I knew them, or I knew them a little bit. Now I know them a bit more.
Yeah.
And it's harder to have a divided society when you know each other.
I didn't intend for this episode to go this direction, but are we giving ourselves?
What I was going to say too is, like, you were speaking about, like, nationally we're pretty divided, but locally, I mean, I know people across the political divide and who maybe on national stuff would be like at each other's throats, but locally we care about the exact same shit.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's why this type of thing is huge, because we do care about the exact same shit, because it's knocking on all of our doors,
Yeah.
And I think that's really huge, because then you realize that the things that are closer to us are far more important than the things that are far away.
Yeah.
And when you give people a voice, when you tell their stories, you realize how much power we have to impact that.
Yeah.
I also think that's why a lot of people have trouble telling their stories, because they're so focused on the thing that they're doing day to day, and they know it like the back of their hand. So they no longer realize how special it is, or how unique it is, or how powerful it can be. Right. We see this all the time. Like, we'll be making a video for someone, and my goal is always, like, I need to learn what it is you do that's special and what's unique and what's going to set you apart from someone else that does the same thing. And the person doing that thing, whatever it is, whether it's like making beer or, whatever it is, they're so in it that that's just normal. That's their day to day.
Right.
And they don't realize how astounding that is to other human beings.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big part of it. It's like a perspective shift of realizing the power of your own work and your own artisanship and whatever it is you do.
Yeah.
I think that's a great point. I was watching my father-in-law the other day. Well, I wasn't watching him. He was in the kitchen and he does this thing. Do you ever have anybody that does this? They start watching a video and it's like on full volume, right? And there's other people like in the room.
When you say other people, you mean older people.
Well,
who have no concept of volume.
The funniest part about it was I did open up the conversation. It was like, Papa, you do realize that your neighbors can hear the video that you're playing right now?
What was the response? Because I'm assuming he didn't care.
Well, he didn't care. Yeah. But to make it relevant to this point, he was watching people in a Asian country. I don't know which one, and you guys go ahead and make fun of me. Go ahead and make fun of my insensitivities of like knowing other cultures.
Just your absolute ignorance.
I am ignorant. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
And it was basically how they repair vehicles when they don't have access to all the things that we do.
Right.
So the idea, I guess, bringing it back to your point is like something that seems every day to some people seems like a real ability or craftsmanship to other people. And for whatever reason, those are like stories that people get invested in really quickly.
For sure.
Well, it's the desire as well, right? People want to do those things.
Yeah.
They want to climb.
Oh, I don't want to fix my car.
No, but I would like
but I'm amazed at how people do it.
I'd like to be able to.
No.
I don't want to do it, but it would be nice to know certain things. And then you look at other people and go, it's amazing that you do that. How do you know how to do that?
Oh, see, you're different than I am then. Because
yes, I am.
My father. Has there ever been a situation? Has anybody else been in this situation? My father-in-law used to all the time say this until I finally told him, I was like, hey, that really bothers me. Please stop. If when something came up, he would look at me and he'd go, boy, don't you know nothing? Like, don't you know how to do this?
Yep.
And I'm like, no, nobody ever taught me. This is my father-in-law, right? So he didn't understand, but that used to remind me. But there are things now that we have different conversations. And when he's like, when he wants to say that, I'm like, no. And I want to pay somebody to do it. Right. I don't want to learn how to do it.
But also you can just turn around and say, well, you don't know how to use the TV remote. Yeah. So,
Papa, he's got you. That conversation comes up in our house.
No kidding.
More than once. Okay. So back to the idea of telling stories and why it's so important. I think that Rob said it's a way to connect us, right, in this community. So I'm thinking this next year, we want to make sure you guys continue to watch the episodes and let us know who some of the people are that maybe have an amazing story. A great way to do that is call us at 970-316-3162. You can text that number because Rob keeps telling me all the time, nobody actually likes to call anybody anymore.
Text, yeah.
Old people do. They like to call.
They do like to call.
They're annoying.
A lot.
Don't call.
I like to call people.
Doesn't matter. It's not my phone. It'll call him. So
that's true. So 970-316-3162. Text that number if you know somebody that should be on WKRP this next season.
Yep.
So, and there's a lot of new things coming up. But that being said, what's new on the plate for Drew and your family? Because you've got, like I said, married, wife,
two kids now.
Yeah.
It's 7-month-old being the youngest, a 3-year-old daughter, 7-month-old boy. That's crazy, man. Like it's fun, but it's chaotic. The sleep is at a minimum. The caffeine is at like an all-time high. The beer consumption when they're asleep also at an all-time high, right? Just to cope. No, I'm just kidding. No, but we had a pretty good year, and like our business has constantly been growing. We've been, getting new clients, but at the same time, like you have a couple more kids, and my wife and I were running this whole thing together, and it's like, well, now there's 2 little ones running around, so to juggle that. And having all this equipment in our basement, which is like a constant fall risk for a toddler, right? We're going to move into a space in the new El Dorado building.
Oh, congratulations. It's a nice new building.
Yeah. We were really excited. And it's a big move. Like I really enjoyed like working out of the dungeon is what I call it. Cause it's just like a dark basement that I have like all my stuff set up, do all my editing there and like store our equipment there. But I think it's going to, shift my approach to work a lot because as nice as it is to like roll out of bed and like into the desk, there's no separation or life balance, which is something I've kind of struggled with. But so I think moving into a space will be good because we can meet with people there. Like I don't really want to, bring clients into my
into your house.
Yeah, it's kind of
weird.
Rob
does. Rob likes to have people over.
Nobody.
That's not
I will
true.
call the police on people I am friends with if they show up.
If they show up.
So you're saying you have excellent work-life separation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
You don't let anybody
your home
come
is
up.
your castle, right? I mean, like you gotta, yeah.
It's not my castle. It's my cat's castle.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
I was going to say that, speaking about work-life balance, I mean, you were talking about having kids. I feel you. My cat wants to be fed on a schedule. I feel
demanding
your pain.
animal. Yeah.
I feel it. Yeah. But your kids don't disappear outside sometimes. That's the other thing.
So a couple times.
In a way, you could argue that I have it more difficult.
More difficult, yeah.
You could.
Yeah.
How?
I would.
In which way would anybody argue that you have it more difficult?
Well, there's no reasoning with the cat.
That's it. Do you see? He gets it.
I get it.
He gets. What if you have 2 cats?
Okay.
There's very little reasoning with a toddler, but it can be done in rare circumstances.
Well, you're talking about bribing a toddler.
Yeah,
you're not talking about reasoning with the toddler.
That's true.
And by the way, it's the same thing. He bribes his cat to get it to come back and spend time with him. There's
No, he doesn't.
If he didn't feed,
He doesn't listen.
If he didn't feed and give the cat treats, the cat would never come back.
He's an independent thinker.
Yeah, right. Well, just like you, it's almost intolerable.
Exactly. But yeah, 7 and 3 sounds like to me hell on earth.
It can feel that way.
Kids are great when they're other people's kids.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. Nieces and nephews, when I was growing up, you wind them up, you give them some sugar, you send them home with their parents.
That is the reason that you love being an uncle.
There it is.
Because it's not about actually spending the time with your niece and nephew.
No.
It's about winding them up and handing them back.
Now
It's
I can
just
get
fun to watch the reaction. Yeah.
Now I can get my nephews drunk and send them home, which is even more fun. You think sugar's fun when they're stumbling through the door and their mother's calling me? It's great.
So what
I love
happened?
it.
No,
Yeah.
it's fun.
I love it.
Well, I'm going to be on the other end of that because at some point, my daughter's now grown up. Several years in the future, hopefully, it'll be grandkids that I'm winding up and sending back to her. Like that'll be.
Oh, that's exactly what my parents do.
Oh,
yeah,
is
they
it?
love it. Oh yeah, like my daughter will go over there and she just gets spoiled. New clothes every time she goes over there, new toys, and then she's like, "Why don't we have that toy at our house?" And I'm like, "I don't ever want that thing that makes that much sound in my house. That stays at their house." But then she just constantly gets what she wants, gets to watch Frozen, and then we're just like the ruthless dictators that are like, no, we care about your mental health, so we're not going to just put a screen in front of you all the time. And she's like, completely confounded by like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
So no, it's fun. The grandparent does seem like the better end of the deal because you get all the fun and like as little of the responsibility as you want of actually making sure they like survive.
Absolutely. Can we? I want to hear about Drew's origin story.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's ask, because we always ask people about, why they like it in Montrose and stuff like that. But it's always interesting to me and other people how you end up in a place.
Yeah. You said earlier it was part of the reason you moved here.
Totally. Yeah.
So give us the backstory.
So I'm from Grand Junction originally. I was actually born there. Yeah. Well, there's a reason I moved to Montrose, right? That's all I'll say. But no, I grew up there, and then when I was, what would that have been? About to go into 8th grade, we moved to Phoenix, Arizona as a family. This will show how young I am. I'm a child. It was 2008, so it was with the market crashes, and they're like, yeah, let's get out of here. Let's go to Phoenix. My dad changed careers, so I went to high school and college in Phoenix. And when I was in college, my parents had moved back to Montrose because the city is just crazy. The traffic was too much. And I, for one, never liked the heat or the lack of seasons. That was always depressing to me. So when they had moved back here, I kept visiting, finishing out my last year in school. And I'm like, gosh, I'm like stuck in traffic in the desert where it's like hot or less hot. Like that's the only two options you have. And then I got out of college and like all my friends are there, all my community was there, but I still always felt like I was from here. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, sure.
They're like, you lived in Phoenix, longer than you ever lived in Colorado, but I felt like it wasn't my home. So when they moved back to Montrose and I would visit, that felt to me like Junction felt growing up in at the time.
Right. Okay.
And it's changed a lot now, right?
Yeah.
So I had thought about like, okay, maybe I'll move to Denver, maybe Colorado Springs or even Junction because it's a little bigger, and like Montrose seemed intimidatingly like small, like claustrophobic small. But every time I'd come out, I'd be like, man, they're like golfing, they're skiing, they're hiking, and I'm just like stuck in my car in the desert, and that was just awful. So that was like lifestyle wise why I wanted to move. And then, the opportunity of like, okay, well, here's the thing I've always been interested in that it seems like there's an opportunity. Let's just try it. And I did. I just packed up and moved back, and I tried it, and here we are.
And what year was that? Sorry that you
that was 2019.
Landed in Montrose.
I think it was like November of 18 when I like officially moved, and then 19. So like January of 19 is when I started my business.
So why not Grand Junction? Why Montrose? Was it because you at least had a little bit of a home base and you had mom and dad here?
You heard him. Junction's rubbish.
Oh, I didn't hear him say that.
He said it. You got to read between the lines.
You got to back it up. Do you do that like thing where you double tap like 15 seconds to see if? Okay, yeah, go ahead.
It was different. Like it's Junction when I grew up was bigger than Montrose is now, but it had this like small feel to it still. And I felt like it just wasn't that way when I was exploring, kind of coming back. It just felt different. And I don't necessarily think it's bad. It's just not for me. I liked what I was seeing in Montrose. It's very small. It's tight knit, but we have a lot of cool shit going on too, right? Like I wasn't moving somewhere so rural that I didn't have good internet. Like we have good internet.
We have great internet, actually. I think you'll find it's not just good.
Yeah.
Clear Networks.
Clear Networks is great.
Yeah.
How dare you say it's just good?
And then we also have like just enough cool stuff. And this is it's not even just enough anymore. Like we're getting a lot, but like when I first moved here, it's like we have just enough good places to eat, good beer, and like tons of recreation.
Right.
And it seemed right. And I was like, well, I might do this for like 3 years and then like have fun and then just move somewhere else to like, okay, let's, start something real now. But it turned out to be like the perfect place to land. I met my wife here and here we are. So,
yeah. Well, and now you can't leave.
Yeah, no,
I don't feel
there's
like
a curse too.
Now
you know
you're
about the
stuck.
curse?
There's
like the Western Slope curse where if you leave, you will always end up back here. And there's like some legend that like on Mount Garfield, you have to go take a jar of dirt with you to like actually break the curse. We even did this and my parents still moved back though. So that didn't work either.
Huh.
Somebody else mentioned that.
Yeah, they did.
Brett Huff. I think Brett may have mentioned that.
Hey, thanks. That was going to be a great opportunity for us to get people that maybe haven't watched all the episodes to go find it.
Ever going to remember her name. You are the worst at remembering names.
How do you know that?
I interact with you all the time. You forget people's names all the time. Only today you asked me, what's my wife's name again?
I mean, did I say that?
You see? He doesn't even know if he said it or not.
I might have said that. I don't know.
But yeah,
Nicole, I did not say that.
Yeah. What about the future? Because the reason I say you can't leave is the same reason I feel like I can't. One, I've been here almost 9 years. So I kind of feel like in the early days, I put my time in. It wasn't as good as it is now. It was slightly different. We've got cool stuff now. We've got more coming. I'm not leaving now because now Montrose is about to hit, I think, its peak in the next few
You're not going to leave once it got good?
Yeah, no, exactly.
All right, now this shit's good. I'm out.
I paid my dues in this town.
Now it's time for you to enjoy it?
Yeah, exactly. But what do you think? Where do you think the future?
No,
of
I don't
Montrose
think
is?
I could. Like we've talked about it. Like, you know, it's gotten a little more expensive. That's just a reality of it. And like housing prices, like we're trying to buy a house, and that part's not fun. But we like last year, my wife and I were like, well, like maybe we should move. Like, should we find somewhere that's easier to like, you know, more affordable to raise a family? I don't know. And we couldn't find anywhere that was like, okay, yeah, that place is cheap as shit to live, but like, I don't want to live there, you know?
Well, what was there a short list of potential places?
Oh, not really. I mean, not really. Like anywhere we looked that was like going to satisfy what we actually wanted was like more expensive than Montrose. We're like, oh, cool, we're in the cheap place.
Right. I mean, it's all relative.
Yeah.
Right.
And I've just fallen in love with this place, you know, like with what we do. We're constantly just interacting with people in the community. That's been the biggest like upside to being in business, especially with what we do. Like, cause I have to get to know somebody really well to tell their story in a video. And I just feel like it's the most amazing community. And we've just like fallen in love with the culture, the history of this place, you know, especially like we've done a lot of agricultural content recently. And I just love hanging out with those farmers, dude. They're the coolest people ever. And they have such good stories. They're so hardworking, but even all the new stuff going on, it's just like the most unique little place in the world. And I love it. I couldn't see myself being anywhere else.
Well, that's what I like the combination. I've said this before of the way Montrose is headed, but with the agricultural community still.
Yeah.
I mean, people, you know, ride horses and there are farmers and there are people who live that real agricultural life. But we also have places like the Rathbone and Shelter and modern businesses like that. So it's that.
So we're getting bougie while staying connected to our
Kind
roots.
of.
Is that what you're saying?
For now,
Okay.
I'm sure that at some point people will try to build horrific things on cornfields and that stuff down the line.
Right.
But, you know, that's up to us as a community to let them do that or to stop them doing
Change is inevitable. You either participate in it or you are
Yeah.
affected by it.
Yeah.
One of the two. So, well, I have a question.
Sure.
So you're in the know. You're telling people. Well, first of all, actually, go back for just a second. That piece that you were talking about. Do you want to plug it? The that you were doing with the agricultural group.
Oh,
I saw a post about it, but I don't.
We've done a lot this past year. I mean, so we do some video for Montrose County. Actually, like over a year ago, we did a series of 3 videos that were all about ag culture and ag legacy and heritage. Those are like some of the favorite, you know, little short videos I've ever made. And then we did some really agricultural focused stuff for Elevate this year. So not to bring up, you know, the competitor to your
I don't know. I don't know who that is. So
it's just, you know, don't worry too much about it. But it was cool. We got to feature Homestead Meats out of Delta and just tell their story, and like they're really innovative with their, you know, co-op ranch model. And then we actually did one with Snowcap Cider in Cedar Ridge, which I had no idea. I was like, okay, cool, you know, like hard cider, that's cool. And then we meet the lady that runs it, Carrie, and she's like the most passionate person. She's like so knowledgeable about cider and just starts talking about it. And you're like, dude, now I want to be like as passionate about you as cider.
Yeah.
And then you try it and you're like, wow, this is like right here. And like she's going all over the world, like winning awards and shit with her cider. And I didn't even know it was there until we made the video. So that's what I'm talking about. You constantly find these people who are all into their weird little thing and they're just like going hard.
Yep.
And there's so many people that are here doing that, you know?
Yeah. It's great. It's why, you know, I feel like WKRP is a sister product almost of like Wayfinder. We had some really cool people, like the Helitac crew.
We still do. They're still here.
No. But in the magazine, I meant.
We didn't lose them.
But we sought them out.
Yeah.
And we found some people who were farmers. I mean, we had Kerry Maddox from Maddox Orchards, and we had these people too. And it is there were so many people who have awesome stories here.
Why do you think it is? So those stories with Wayfinder, and you get a bunch of people that actually stop you in the street. I'm sure you get people that stop you that know that you've produced some of these products.
Not as much because I'm behind the camera.
That's true.
And my name's not like on the video, but it happens a little bit.
Well, your name is on some video. You do a podcast.
True. I do. Yeah.
What's your podcast?
It's Drew the Catholic. It's a theology podcast. That's my weird little thing that everyone's like, what the hell? But everyone's got their thing, man.
Yeah. No, I've watched an episode or two, specifically because I am, I'm going to stumble all over this. I have limited faith. Is that what I was trying to say?
Do you have limited faith?
Yeah. Let's not make it about me. Let's not make it about me.
No, let's make it about you.
No, let's not. So anyway, where I was going with that was you also do another podcast for the county. So we do the bell curve. with Bell Bell for this city manager.
Oh, cool.
But you do a podcast for the county. And what's the podcast called?
It's called County Talk.
Okay.
It used to be County Talk, boring but important.
Oh,
and then
okay,
it stopped being boring. Like they had all these cool conversations like,
Right.
oh crap, we can't call it boring anymore.
Right.
So yeah, it's County Talk. Sue Hansen is like the host. And they just bring on all sorts of different segments of the county. It's like really informative. Like we had the assessor on recently. And so it's like you can figure out everything you need to know about your property taxes. And that one was probably of all the ones the most boring for most people, but it's like really important stuff, right? We've done a couple like man on the street ones too that are real fun. So
Yeah, I think that there's more.
I learn a lot.
I think there's where I was going with that is I think there's more resources out there than people actually know about. And part of the problem is
Yep.
like you can create this content, but you have to get it in front of people so that they know it's there. What kind of, so when you do something for somebody, like the content's created or the podcast is made or, the commercial is filmed, right? What do you do? How do you what happens when it then doesn't meet the audience expectation that people have?
Are you involved in that?
Historically, no. Like when I first started the business, I was like, I just want to make the video and like not do the other half of it.
Yeah.
We're going to change that, I think, this year and start dabbling in like, how do we do the distribution and fulfillment end of it? Just because like it's so embarrassing, dude. The amount of videos I've made, I'm like, yeah, you just spent a good chunk of change on this awesome video. We talked with you exactly about what you should do with it.
Right.
And I haven't seen it posted.
Nope.
It makes me cry because I'm like, oh man, like they love the video. I love the video. It's designed to do exactly what it needs to do. And it's like, we just haven't offered that as a service. So we're considering doing that and kind of dabbling in it. The awkward thing about that is I haven't done that for myself. Like we've been, very fortunate to be pretty busy, and just for my wife and I running it, like we've been at capacity for years. And then, now that she's got, 2 kids to chase around while I'm trying to like work and chase kids around, our capacity went down and our intake, the amount of clients we have went up. So we're going to hire somebody, and that's going to help with that, I hope. But then the other part of it is like, that gives me enough space to think about like, okay, how can we make sure that if we're giving people really good creative, that it's also being implemented right? I think my podcast journey has like really helped me learn that side, because I think the one thing I've learned is that, especially right now in today's like digital media environment on social media platforms, it's the most insane opportunity to find an audience without spending a dime.
Yeah.
Like the algorithm, it's wicked good. And at first I was really...
It's wicked smart.
Yeah. Yeah. It's...
little hint of Boston there.
Yeah. It's so good. And at first I didn't like this. I was like, I don't like that it's an algorithm. Like I just want it to be about people.
Right.
I think I've become less jaded though, because what I've realized is that, no, it's still about people. There's just this amazing tool that can find exactly what weird thing you're into, and then feed you that. And there's problems with that. Like everyone knows there's problems with that, and those should be addressed. But that's like a big get everyone around the table conversation that shouldn't stop businesses and professionals and creative people from actually utilizing it, because it completely cuts out the middleman of like media buying. Not entirely. Like there's still value in that, but I can create a piece of content, and as long as that content delivers on what it promises, YouTube's going to find an audience for it.
Right. Well, it's a needle in a haystack without it.
Yeah.
Right? If you're looking for something very specific, it's very difficult to find it unless you have help. And that's where the algorithm seems to work pretty well. It's annoying too at times. Obviously, people are like, I had a conversation with somebody and it was overheard by my phone and the algorithm, and suddenly you start getting
it's
all
kind of
that
creepy
stuff. It's a little creepy, but I think what's important too, though, is like what we're doing. It's not just about making it and going, all right, it's done. There's more to it. It's like if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around. Like if you make an episode of a podcast but nobody listens to it, what was the point?
Right.
It's the value, I think, is in people watching and listening and interacting and learning from it. So that other component is really very important, I think.
Well, and it's such a huge community builder, and I think that's like the most. You're seeing a lot more of this, where like Mad Men in the 1950s was like you put an ad in a newspaper and you make the creative good, and it like sends a branding message, and you just push that out as much as you can, and it can become a math game of like this many ad spend dollars equals that much revenue. Whereas now there's this opportunity that maybe has always been there, but it's in a really unique way now, to where you can actually build a community around an idea or an interest or a passion or a topic. And you could be a business person and have a community that's only like barely related to that, but that community can be the single largest driver of revenue and income. And you're just doing that through organic content that drives people to a community. And then in that community is embedded in an offer, whether that's like a product or a service, you know?
Yeah.
With my own podcast, we've kind of done this. I just was like, I studied theology. I studied English. I'm a nerd. This is what I talk about in my free time. I'm just going to start talking about it on camera for better or worse. We'll see if it bites me in the ass someday. And I just did. And, you know, like it's grown. I don't have like a massive channel, but I got a little over 7,000 YouTube subscribers, like just under 500,000 total views, which is, it's not like viral, but it's significant. And the connections I've made with other people doing content in that niche has led to, you know, me and a friend from that same niche have like created this conference where we got all of those people together.
Right. And
now that's like a monetizable business that we've started just because we're like, hey, we're all talking about this stuff. I should at least have like this guy's phone number if we're both making content.
Right.
And the power of like developing that community has made all of our content better, but it's also turned into like another business opportunity for me and my business partner in that realm. Right. And it's like going through that the past 2 years, I've realized, wait, this is insane. I was just going to my basement and just like completely rant about something I was thinking about that like no one else is interested in. Right. And just YouTube alone has found at this point, 7,600 people who are interested in it enough to like get emails when I post something.
Yep.
And enough of those people who are doing the same thing have connected that I found a monetization opportunity there that we can capitalize on. And that's cool because it allows me to do it more.
Right. So here's a crazy thing that I can totally relate to that. And I've said this multiple times. Of those people, how many of them are actually residents of Montrose? So like you put this thing out there.
Like my mom and my wife.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that what's crazy about this show too is that we find out when we put it out there and a lot of people ask, it's like, okay, well, who all's watching? And I said, well, that's the crazy thing. We do have people that are, this content is made for our community in Montrose, but there's so many more people outside of Montrose that are interested in those stories and interested in what's going on here.
They used to live here, or they were Googling,
or they're thinking about moving here. Yeah.
Or they were Googling Montrose, Scotland, and stumbled across this by accident.
Is there a Montrose, Scotland? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
That's the OG.
Okay.
You're doing a good job of bringing up past episodes on today's show.
You're talking about, remember their name?
No.
Skyrie. I'm going to tag them in this episode. Shame on him.
No. So here's the thing. I remember the name.
Dropped on his
No.
head
I remember the name, but Rob makes so much fun of me for mispronouncing things that immediately makes me pause.
Now he's scared. Are you looking for sympathy?
I mean, I might have gotten a little bit because people know you, Rob.
The jolly green giant over there, scared of mispronouncing a word.
I mean, sometimes you've made it almost painful at this point in time because
no regrets.
I'm doubting myself.
No regrets.
I need therapy.
Yeah.
Is there anybody out there that can help me?
We should get a therapist on. We should get some free therapy.
I would. Can you and I?
But then you guys have to sit on the couch.
Yeah, I was about to say, can we do couples therapy?
Get therapized. No, because I think that'll turn out badly for me.
Yeah. Absolutely, it will. I think that people sympathize with me already.
Yeah.
So, okay, a couple of things that we got to wrap up, but a couple of things that I want to make sure that we get an opportunity. One is since you help so many people tell stories, we do this challenge that we want each time. So you're looking, camera one there, and I want you to challenge somebody who you think has a great story that hasn't shared it with WKRP yet.
Oh man, I don't know how many people have been on here, so I might what if they've already been on? You'll tell me.
We'll let you know.
Okay. Yeah. Who should come on here and share their story? Have you guys had the Alpine Confections guys yet?
Yes, we have.
Okay, you've had them.
Lynn and Mike were some of the early
awesome.
ones. Yeah.
I'm addicted to that chocolate.
Yeah. But Lynn and Mike, you're always welcome to come back and sit down again.
You know what might be cool? It might be a bit edgy. And,
I like edgy.
We produce a podcast for a naturopath, Dr. Shayna Keller, and West Elks Wellness right there on Townsend. Really cool story that got her into it, and she's really passionate about helping people, helping them. I mean, she's a naturopath, so she's a doctor, and she actually went to medical school for a little bit and then chose the naturopath route. And she really is good at combining that experience and has a lot of the research and the evidence-based stuff in there, as well as like more natural solutions that are holistic.
I love that.
Her podcast, and I've learned so much. I feel like I should pay her to produce it sometimes because I'm like, I feel like I'm getting like a free doctor's visit. Yeah,
free visit.
She'll do an episode on something that's happening with me, and I'm like, okay, write that down. That's exactly. I'm gonna go buy that supplement or whatever. And yeah, she's just really cool person, really passionate about it.
Call her out. Call her out directly.
Dr. Shayna, you should come on this podcast and plug your podcast.
Yeah, Dr. Shayna, we'd love to have you.
Yeah.
We'd love to. I'm sure Rob is over there thinking of things that he wants to.
I'm a little skeptical about certain things like that, but I'm very
she's like
much
the perfect person
Right.
because she's not like, how do I say this without pissing off everyone else in that industry? She's not like woo-woo about it.
she's
You know
not-
what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm open to being convinced about things.
I
But
don't
I'm
need
a
to be
skeptic.
convinced. I
I blindly believe everything I read on the internet.
all of it, all of it. All right. So the other thing that I wanted to ask is, you're in the know a lot. Is there anything exciting coming to Montrose that you know about that you want to share with people to like, hey, look out for this?
Oh, that I can
That you can share about?
I don't know. I mean, the building we're moving into, there's a lot of businesses moving into there. Some of some of them it's their first spot. Some of them it's an upgrade. For us, it's our first spot. I think that's going to be really cool. It's going to be a hub of a lot of different industries and businesses that can collaborate and work together. And I'm excited to move into that. So, there's like, I think there's a CPA, there's, Berkshire Hathaway's going in there with their new offices. We'll be in there. So I'm not sure when we'll be in there, probably late January, but I'd love for people to come check it out. Maybe we'll post and like have people come visit our studio.
That's a good point. There are a lot of new hubs of business in town. There's the alt space.
Yep.
So that's got a lot of independent businesses that I don't know that everybody knows, especially as like new landing spots. There's the Citizens Bank now has spaces for lease in there as well. There's a ton of business coming to Montrose.
It's booming. It's crazy, man.
Well, and we
It's
need those
happening
places,
fast.
right? If you're a startup or you're just a single person operation, you need a small office. Maybe you don't have the capital to go big, so it's important to have those small spaces like Alt Space and the Citizens Bank building where you can have a small office and it's not unreasonably priced.
I feel like that's going to change downtown too. Like downtown,
definitely.
Main Street is becoming more.
Yep.
More pedestrian friendly.
Yeah.
Although I still
love
feel
that.
like people have a real hard time with the crosswalks on Main Street.
Oh, I'm going to get killed for sure one day. I press the button and I walk
go.
into the street.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
I'm right.
I would love to see like the sidewalk extend and narrow the lanes on Main Street to where like it forces cars to slow down.
Yeah.
And it becomes completely walkable.
Like
I would love to
in
see
that city up north that shall not be named, right?
The city up north that shall not be named.
Actually, yeah, that's a great example of that. Like, I would vote for that so fast.
Yeah, me too.
You're talking about Grand Junction's Main Street.
Yeah. Just the Main Street, though, not the.
Hey, we're just kidding, Grand Junction. Send somebody
But we
down
could do it
from-
better. We could do it better.
But
That's a good point.
send somebody down from Visit Grand Junction to come and see us.
Yeah, you're part of the West Slope too.
Yeah.
We play nice a little.
I'm just joking.
We might not bite, do we? If you know somebody in Grand Junction, have them come on. WKRP Montrose, WKRPMontrose.com if you want to get some more information. Drew, anything that you would want to plug before we leave? Anything else you got going on?
We're gonna moving into the new space. We're gonna start doing more like talking head, like video newsletter type content as well as podcast production, and just kind of amp up what we can do in house since I'm no longer in my basement. So
do you have more capacity now for more clients?
Yeah, we have capacity. We're getting an employee that'll help us, manage some of those bigger jobs and run some of the smaller ones. And so we're really gonna push hard for organic social media content, vertical content, and podcasts this year.
And where can people go to see some of this content and get in touch?
Yeah, you can go to drewloewencreative.com.
All right.
Awesome. Do you have anything else that you want to say? No? It's a new year. You don't want to
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah. You forgot that it was a new year?
Yeah. Well, because,
Why do you look stone-faced? Not stoned, but
It's
stone-faced.
not really a new year, is it?
Is it?
This is December.
Oh, I thought you said it was. Why would you ruin the illusion?
We're lying to them.
We would never lie to you.
Anyway, go to Pomona and have a beer and get Clear Networks. It's awesome.
Drew, thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah,
We
thanks,
appreciate
guys.
it.
Thanks for
Talk
having
to you
me on.
soon.